Yes, I'm live. Good morning. How are you doing? This is a nice spontaneous stream. I hadn't had anything planned, but I quite literally finished with little chores around the house. I made myself a coffee, I had some breakfast, and I thought, you know what? I've got some time free before I need to head out, so I shall hop on Twitch and see who's around and have a little chat. So how are you doing this morning? I feel like there's not much to catch up on because I was only streaming yesterday when we were doing some Call of Duty. This morning I have made sure that the camera is plugged into the power. So I don't think I'm at risk of just the battery dying. Well, good morning, In. Thank you for dropping in. And thank you for being first into the chat. This is nice to see you. I saw you were streaming yesterday. Unfortunately, I couldn't drop in to watch, but I promise I will shortly. This is nice. How are you doing? How's things? Don't know if you were lurking yesterday, but I had a few problems with the camera. I'd lent it out to someone, and I brought it back home. Got it all wired up, got all my nice Velcro cable ties all evenly spaced. I put all the cabling back under the desk, plugged it into the computer. One thing I didn't do was test it for very long, and a couple of minutes into yesterday's stream I realised when it blacked out that I hadn't actually plugged the power cord back in. So it just ran out of battery early in the stream, so I was scrabbling around under the desk, plugged what I thought was the camera back in, and it wasn't. So it died a second time. So I was under the desk for a lot of yesterday's stream, just plugging stuff back in. Oh, just getting your breakfast sorted? Yeah, I had scrambled eggs this morning. Yeah, these little technical things, they happen. They test any stream, I think. But I don't mind. I'm pretty good at fault tracing, but obviously when it just happens a couple of minutes into the stream, and I was just about to drop into a game as well, so I had to quickly back out into the lobby and dive under the desk to plug the cable back in. So, that's not happened this morning. I'm pleased. It's gone to plan so far. Are you intending to be doing any streaming today? Because I probably will have access today. So, oh, thank you. Yes, I'm very happy with my camera. It's actually an ancient camera. It's a Blackmagic digital cinema camera from about I think 12 years ago. So it's only a little above HD resolution. So it's completely obsolete for like 4K and 8K filmmaking. But it makes a pretty good webcam. Civilizations with early access. I've never played that. I think that's a strategy game, isn't it? I used to play a bit of The Sims, but that was it. I need to find some games that are slower and longer form, because even though I love playing Call of Duty, when I'm playing it, it's a bit difficult to focus on chat, which is why I started doing the just chatting streams. Because sort of dividing my attention between chat and trying to play the game moderately okay. It's like I can do it mentally. I can hold a conversation and play at the same time, but it's like needing to have my eyes pointing in different directions to read the chat and be able to play. So I'm thinking about getting some slower games as well that I can take a little more time playing. And if I need to hop into chat and spend some time with people, I can. But I'm pleased with how it's going so far, because I've only been back streaming since early December. Because I'd done it about 4 years earlier, and it hadn't gone particularly well. I was very self-conscious about it and had all kinds of... My computer wasn't quite up to the job either. But now that I've made a comeback, I'm a couple of months in, and so far I'm loving it. And, you know, the followers have picked up. People are dropping into the stream as well, so I'm very happy with it. Oh, I like it. Yeah, educational. I like that. Yeah. I hear you there. Yeah, it's I like to get involved with chat, but I've sort of found when I was looking back at chat after a stream, I was thinking, I have no idea what I replied to that, but I may not have read it correctly. So I sort of got a little bit concerned that I was like half reading what people had said, not quite understanding. So that's my my plan going forward, is to spend more time understanding what chatters are saying, so I can reply with a little more sense. But yeah, the Call of Duty will remain a part of the stream going forward, but my plan is Monday mornings is going to be my just chatting. Then Wednesday mornings Call of Duty, Saturday afternoons are my longer Call of Duty. Anything else like this, I just drop in as and when I can do it, when I've got the time. I need to look on itch, see if I can find some indie games, some nice straightforward ones, sort of gentle play that I can take my time over. Yeah, there is a schedule. I've got the schedule up on Twitch, and it's also on the Discord as well. And the Discord is where I post the go lives. I post go lives on social if I've got the time, but looking at analytics, people don't really jump in from X or wherever, so I don't post those so often. I'll usually post schedule updates and that kind of thing on socials. But I'm hoping to clear into affiliate fairly soon, and that's then going to mean that I can put the ad hoc unscheduled not regular streams on Twitch as well. At the moment, I've got the Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays in the stream schedule, but I can't add individual one-off streams like the night before it's going to happen or whatever, because it wants to do them as a repeating schedule. So hopefully when I'm affiliate, I'll be able to be even clearer about when I can do them. Hello again. Good morning. How are you doing? How have you been going the past couple of days? Yeah, well, because I had 5 chatters in the other day, I've now unlocked being able to give people VIP status, so they can, from what I've read about it, they can comment as much as they like in chat and never get moderated for saying too much, which I like. I like that idea, because I've had no end of problems with moderation. I very heavily, because like reading up about Twitch on Reddit and whatever, there's so many horror stories about you need to mod this, you need to mod that, you'll get all kinds of abuse and everything. But I've had nothing but nice people come into chat, and they were getting blocked for using emotes and caps and that kind of thing. So I've just pared the moderation right back, and it's all been working a lot more smoothly the past week. Oh, that's good. It's another mug of Tokyo roast this morning. Japan's #1 coffee, apparently. Yeah, I think I might put what's it called, Seribot in, because that's the thing that I initially had problems with, people trying to sell me artwork and that kind of thing. Anything Japanese is good in my book. I'm a very big Japanese fan. Yeah, playing Valorant. Yeah, I must admit, I know it's hugely popular, but I haven't. I've never played it. I should check it out. Funnily enough, I got a big bottle of Japanese whiskey for Christmas. I haven't tried it yet, but that was on my Christmas list, was to get some nice Japanese whiskey. So I need to open that and try it. I've had Japanese vodka. That's nice. That's very smooth. But yeah, in respect to moderation, I had to block and remove the first person on Discord last night. That was someone who'd joined, and as soon as I saw they got marketing in their name, I was like, this is not someone legit. Of course, as soon as they joined the Discord, they then started messaging me, how's your channel going? It's like, yes, going okay. And it was, how do you find viewers? I was like, right, block. You're going to try and sell me like search marketing services. So that's the first one that I've actually had to take off there. But other than that, it's been going good in that respect. Oh, they are the worst. I find I've even stopped hashtagging anything on social. I use a few every now and then. But the moment you mention Twitch or VTube or anything on socials, then I'm just inundated with followers who are like, hi, I rig models. I design characters. And it's like, yeah, but if you look, I've got one. In fact, there we go. That's me. Let me clear that. So yeah, that's who I am much of the time. So I'm like, well, if you watch the channel, if you look at my my socials, you will see that I actually have all of that taken care of. And I sometimes update it so I have a seasonal hoodie on as well. I can add my own hoodie whenever I want. Oh, you tried to friend me. Whereabouts? Was that on the Discord or on, what's it called, Battle.net? Because I can have a look at that. Because, yes, I would definitely like to play COD with you someday. That would be great fun. Yeah, I think they just spam everyone. Oh, Discord. I shall have a look. I shall, when I'm done with that, I shall... Yes, friends. Pop me a request again when you get set. I'm the married person. Oh, there we go. You are active. There we go. There we go. I've added you as a friend now. I still need to find out more about Discord. There seem to be no end of levels of complexity to it. You can just install it and start using it, but then there's all these extra roles and so forth. There we go. You are friended now. This is fun. I noticed the big streamers, they don't have time for this. They just have their mods appointed for it. So you have like direct early access. You know, the OGs. But yeah, oh, thank you for saying my branding's good. I'm trying to keep everything in sort of purple and blue look to work with my character. You're the OGs. Everyone who sort of started following me in like the first few weeks that I got going and were like the first in chat. That's great. You're the originals. You believed in me before I was a superstar. Yeah, I was thinking of finding some really, really slow games for doing on just chat for whenever I run out of interesting things to chat about. Assuming I have any interesting things to chat about. But I was going to... I think I found a game on itch which is called Cat Cafe, and it's literally just serve coffees to people. You make up their order, hand over whatever it is they've ordered, and then the next one in line comes forward. I'm like, that sounds like a very relaxing game. There's no stress involved in that at all. I'm still waiting for Inconveni to come out. That's literally running a convenience store in Japan. You just stock the shelves and chat to the customers. That sounds like a relaxing game. Because I always read about you should have like kind of a continuity across everything you output. So it's like, will people who like Call of Duty like it when you play a really soft, gentle kind of game? And I'm like, break with convention. I'm going to do that. I'm going to theme it by days, I think. Yeah, it's lovely when people actually drop in straight away. Yeah, I like shooters. I always have done. I mean, I started playing back in like Duke Nukem kind of era. So I played Doom, Duke Nukem, a couple of other things. Very old titles now. But that was back in the sort of Windows 95 era. And I thought that the graphics were spectacular. when I see them on like Instagram with these like nostalgia posts from things in the 90s, and you look back at it like 800 by 600 resolution. I think it was like 8-bit colour or something. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna have the core Call of Duty, and that's never gonna change because honestly, it's the only game that I can play moderately okay and that holds my attention. And I think that's because it's like match-based. I don't get time to get bored with it. It's like 10 minutes. If I'm not feeling it, it moves on to something else. So it keeps me constantly engaged. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to engage in chat with that. So I wound up just playing match after match after match. I'm thinking, I'm not the greatest player in the world, so I'm not going to get people dropping in to watch me specifically for playing. So I need to diversify and add a few extra things in. But I think just adding the chat so far has been quite positive. And weirdly enough, I looked on the back end of Twitch on the VODs, and Monday's Twitch has actually had like more views than any of my COD streams. Yeah, they do tickle my brain too. I just like the speed of them. It's like rapid fire. I feel you there, yeah. A touch of the tism, as they say. Yeah, for me it's the ADHD. I'm about 6 months into a 12-month waiting list. But it's like, that will explain everything about the way my mind works, and, you know, why I'm a middle-aged guy who would rather be streaming than going to work in the mornings, you know. But yeah, that's why I think sort of long strategy games are something that I've struggled with, because my attention span just fades after about half an hour, so. Oh. Does gaming help, though? I find that any kind of thing that occupies a lot of my mind for a while is always very helpful. It's like, I find swimming is a bit like that. I used to swim quite a lot, and it's one of those activities where you invest so much of your headspace in it that you don't really have time to think about anything else. Yeah, I find the nice thing about streaming is obviously I get to chat to other people, but I also get to play as well. And that, and focusing on all of the tech stuff as well, it like pushes everything else out of my mind, and I can really hyper focus on it. And that sort of just consumes all of the extra energy that I've got. So I find it very relaxing. That's one of the things that has always been a constant in my life, that people have been like, why don't you sit down? Why don't you relax? Can't you just sit still for a while? And I'm like, yeah, but I find sitting still, not doing stuff, incredibly stressful. I can't do that. I would find doing like 101 things at once incredibly quickly, just like investing all of myself in it, to be really quite relaxing. Yeah, I've funnily enough, as a kid, I used to dismantle appliances all the time. So much so that people used to come and dump them at our house. Literally, people who were chucking stuff away. I was so well known for dismantling electronics that parents of friends at school would like bring me old TVs and that kind of stuff, and I'd be there with my soldering iron taking all the components out. And not only that, I would take the components out, dismantling it, and I'd have divided boxes, and I would sort the components out by colour and size. So I had collections of all of the different components. For some reason, people thought that this was like a normal thing to do. And looking back, I'm thinking, no, unsoldering appliances to collect the components by size and colour is that's not a normal interest. And my interests are like that. They're people roll their eyes at the stuff I'm interested in. Yeah, I love special interests. How you can just invest so much time in them. They're very relaxing special interests. No one else will ever understand them. But I think that's part of the appeal, really. It's when you've got hobbies that are that close to your heart that no one else gets, I think that in a way makes them a little more special, you know. You don't have a mainstream thing that you're into, or into it to a normal degree. Ooh, cybersecurity. Yes. That's something I briefly got into as an extreme hobby. I watched Mr. Robot. And of course, as soon as I saw that's new hobby, I went all in. I built a new PC all around Cali, and I started studying all of that kind of stuff. And then I realised that I really didn't know what I was doing. And the excitement kind of faded. But like any hobby that you get, you take something from it. So it improved, like building gaming PCs and understanding how all that works. So no hobby is entirely wasted, even if it only lasts like for an intense week. Yeah, I like reverse engineering stuff. I'm one of these people who I see other people struggling. I'm like, can you not see what the problem is here? People all like me saying, oh, my PC isn't working. I can't figure it out. It's broken. And I'll just be like, I'll look at it and be like, well, clearly it's this. You know, it's like, have you plugged it in? And they're like, oh, I didn't think of that. So yeah, I'm kind of a technical kind of person. I like fault finding and yeah. And I think that comes from dismantling stuff as a kid. I like finding out how things worked. And I even managed to repair something. I was on my way to school one morning. Someone had put a video recorder out by their bin. So I took it apart. When I got home, I picked it up. I had to carry it all the way to school first and then bring it home. But yeah, when I got it home, I dismantled it and I actually found out that it was actually just all of the heads needed cleaning. So, free video recorder. Oh, yes, the Wi-Fi is dead. That's the thing. People don't isolate stuff down, break it into logical steps. For them, it's dead. And you're like, no, it's not dead. One particular thing is not working, and if you find out what that thing is, you can then go back through the stages and figure out why that thing isn't working and how it interacts with other things. So they just see an overall whole. It doesn't work. It's dead. Rather than being very specific about what the problem is. So that's my theory. People just panic when they see something wrong. Oh, yes. I love a server rack. Proper full depth. that you could put the rack slides in. Love those. Funnily enough, my bedroom was top floor. It was in the attic, so I had like the whole of the attic space to myself. So that was like a dumping ground for electronics. I had a kind of manufacturing line for PCs. Yeah, I had an attic room and it had like 6 PCs in it, all running in a line. It was amazing. Yeah. Yeah, attic rooms cool. LAN party dream. Oh yeah, back in the day. I'm old enough to remember upgrading my 28 kilobit modem to a 56. And one of my early PCs, I went all out and I got 128 megabytes of RAM. And I was like, wow, it's never going to get better than this. And it's like, that's more RAM than I could ever use for anything. It's like nothing would even boot with 128 megs of RAM these days. I've got 32 gigs in this. And that's actually downgrade. My previous PC had 64 gigs of RAM in it, but I never drove it particularly hard, so I just bought more expensive RAM for this, faster RAM, and less of it. I remember the first time I bought a RAID array. That was 8 SCSI discs, all striped together to achieve 120 gigabytes of storage. Got all these fans going, like twin power supplies, and yeah, 8 discs. Yeah, it's still pretty good. I mean, everything is running really on the graphics card on this. I mean, looking at the moment on OBS, I'm using 4.5% of the system resources. Oh yeah, oh they were loud. You flick the switch on that bad boy and that was like powering up a server room. The roar of power and all of them spinning up. And I bet the speed was like incredibly slow. It had this great big thick SCSI cable. Oh, geeking out about old tech. Oh, your first PC was a used one, yeah. Used ones are good. I mean, I think anything that needs a bit of cleaning up and upgrades and that kind of thing, it's a great place to start. Because you don't worry so much about dismantling something that's used and upgrading it. So it's yeah, I've never been afraid of taking tools to things. I never read instruction manuals. That was always the complaint my parents had. I'd open any present at Christmas or whatever, and if there was an instruction manual, that would be just tossed aside. I'd just figure it out myself. I liked experimenting with just finding out how stuff worked without any instructions. I've got better at that. Oh, Intel 386 with 8 megs. Wow. Yeah, the first PC I got, it wasn't one that I built, but that was Windows 3. I think it was an Intel SE processor, so that was probably a 386 or 486. So yes, ancient, historic stuff. I remember when you could get graphics cards that had 8 megs. And it all seemed so fast at the time. It's like there is no... It wouldn't do anything useful today. You could probably do email and like write text on it, but that was it. Oh, a hand-me-down Toshiba. Yeah, my first laptop I got, that was a MyTac. That had a black and white screen in Windows 3. And it didn't have a trackpad. That had a separate ball mouse, like one of those upside-down ones that you spun the little ball on. Like an upside-down, yeah. Oh, huge sound cards. Yes. I had... it was the coolest thing, Sound Blaster 16. So that had got the internal sound card, but it then got the breakout box that you screwed into the front of the PC for all your phono jacks. Yeah, I do like a good audio interface. I've got a little Yamaha AG3 mixer for the stream. I used to have a Focusrite Scarlett, but obviously that was just an interface. It didn't have a mix function or any faders on it. Yeah. That was nice. Yeah, I had the Sound Blast 16 floppy drive, and above that I had a couple of disc caddies. Just because they look cool, I never pulled the discs out. I had no reason to. Yeah, and then I think it was an 8-speed CD drive, all in a big, tall beige case. I now see those kind of computers on Instagram, you know, these nostalgia posts of playing games in the 90s, and I'm like, yeah, I had that. I had a case that had the little green LED display with the clock speed of the processor on it. I remember when I first got a DVD drive, it's like, I can watch movies on the PC. That was revelation, that was. My PC could now do something other than just text. I still remember the first PC case that I got that wasn't a beige tower. It was the same kind of dimensions. It was a full height case, but it had been like encased in a kind of translucent green plastic. I think they were trying to copy the iMacs, but on a PC case. That was a cool case. That had a door that opened, because obviously all of the drives were still beige, so they needed to be covered up with a nice door. That when you could get cases that got the little spring-loaded flaps. So when you open the DVD drive, it would sort of push a flap open to emerge from the cooler-looking case. Yeah, that probably was around 2000, 2001, I think. That was I had a dual processor PC then. That was dual Pentium 2, so I had two 350 megahertz chips in there. That was crazy spec. Getting a motherboard that took two processors. Yeah, and the one thing that I really wanted that I never bought, because I think by the time I'd actually found the cash to buy one, they were vanishing in favour of people using DVDs. I remember the Coca-Cola Cup stand app. Yeah. But yeah, the thing that I never bought was a zip drive, because I loved it. Was I think the Zip 250s. They had the cool sort of slightly translucent case, and you could get the zip discs in loads of different colours. I used to love buying floppy disks in different colours as well, Go and get myself a 10-pack of discs in multicoloured cases. When I was at school, we had the school would issue us with a floppy disk for putting our homework on, because they were cool looking, the zip drives. But yeah, our high school would issue us with a floppy disk at the beginning of each term. They would obviously die being carried around in your pocket with like fluff getting in them. But at school we had Macintosh Classics, the black and white 9-inch Macs. And they were slow even then in the late 90s, because they were back from the 80s, Mac Classics. Yeah, I was daisy chaining lots of scuzzy cables. High school floppies, you must have some years on me. Yeah, I'm 43, so I was using computers at school in the mid-80s, I would say. We had them. They were really popular in the UK. I don't know if they were ever used anywhere else in the world. The BBC Micro, Acorn BBC Micro. Oh yeah. So you remember the early days, like Windows 95, 98, that kind of thing. I was like Windows 2000. I thought that was a good addition. Yeah. I think every primary school everywhere had a few dozen Acorn BBC Micros. You were born in 05. Wow. Yeah, they were cool. I remember like text-based games, just typing in a command and waiting for the floppy drive, 5 3/4 inch floppy, to go clicking away, finding a suitable reply. Oh, too, wow! Look at that. I was born in a different century. Yeah, when floppies actually flopped. Oh, they were good. How they survived, because I mean, you could actually see the actual plastic data surface through them, and put them in a paper sleeve. Yeah, unfortunately, I killed all of the games that I had on my BBC Micro. My floppies, the real floppies, flip, flop, flop, flop. I left those in the case that they were near a radiator, and all of the discs just got warped and would never be read again. So that was the end of my BBC Micro, because it was old enough by that point that I just couldn't find anywhere to buy anything else. So that was when I wound up moving over to PC. Oh, what's it called? Degaussing. You rearranged all of the data on them with a magnet. Oh dear. People these days, they don't know how lucky they have it with cloud backups. Make saving stuff someone else's problem. Back in the day, I had to copy from one floppy to another to make a backup of anything. I think my first hard drive was about 600 megs. I love the first USB stick that I got. I think I paid it was a couple of £100 for it. It was really emerging stuff, and that was 128 megs on a USB stick. Yeah, why do you have the save emoji on your desk? Yeah, funnily enough, on my Stream Deck, for saving markers on my streams, I have the little save, little floppy emoji. The kids today. Yeah, I'm at that age where, like, anyone younger than 40 is kids. I never feel any older, though. It's like when I go to the... Every so often I go to the indoor skate park, and obviously there's me tooling around on a skateboard, and everyone else is, like, 7, 11 years old. I'm having just as much fun as them, but I'm like, my God, you're like 35 years younger than me, you know? Wow, look at that. 8:37. I'll probably have to go in a couple of minutes, guys. Unfortunately, the world doesn't let me stream all the time. I have to go and earn a living as well. But yeah, I will be back on Saturday afternoon doing Call of Duty. Yes, exactly. Never a truer word has been said. I think, yeah, it's like exactly ADHD as well. It's like all of your interests. I don't know whether it's just because they're energetic or something. It's yeah, you get even more deeply involved in things that you are like probably not age appropriate. So yeah, all of my hobbies are things that I probably would have wanted to do in my teens. Oh yeah, do try and catch the Call of Duty streams. It's basically me playing Call of Duty as best I can, which isn't brilliantly. Sometimes I have some epic matches. I'm really good. Other times I'm just awful, and it's all friendly fire. But yeah, I mean it's me in full hyper, full on, yeah, very me mode. I don't hold back. So there's plenty of swearing and jumping around, flailing my arms around. They're exciting streams. Anyway, I think it's about time I wrapped up 42 minutes of streaming. I'm glad I did this. I do like a little stream to start the day. Gets me going. And thank you for dropping by, everyone. Thank you for being so chatty. This is why I've been wanting to do more just chatting streams, because the chat is inevitably fairly quiet in Call of Duty. Because unless you're really into Call of Duty, you probably don't have a great deal to say at that point. So yes, I hope it's productive too. Yeah, enjoy your mornings as well. Thank you for taking the time out your morning to drop by and say hi and join the chat. And I shall indeed catch you later on. You guys have a lovely day. It's been lovely to have you here, and I'll see you all later on. Goodbye.